Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value, and this is about Wall Street silver. I know you guys are buying physical silver, and I just wanted to state why I hold physical silver. I've been holding physical silver for, I think it was 2000, early to mid 2000s is when I started buying precious metals just in general. And the reason I'm buying precious metals, this is a long-term game. This isn't a get-rich-quick overnight thing. And I've been in the game for a long time. I experienced the entire boom of that half of that boom in the last commodity bull market. It started in '98. I got presented to it towards the end of it. 04, 05 is kind of when I started buying and getting involved with the companies and precious metals. And it went all the way up. It peaked, precious metals that is, in 2011. Had this nice big tail on the top. I wasn't as good of an analyst or trader and reading charts. I wasn't as good as I am today. So I didn't know exactly what I was looking for because I was pretty young. But the one thing I noticed, and the one thing that I got pretty, not really annoyed by it, but it's appalling. I detest it almost, is that the government can steal from you through the currency. And that theft, like, I detest it. Like, if hopefully you can see that in my face. Like, I really, really don't like that. And that is when I started loading up in physical silver, because one, I think it's appalling that they can do that. That they have the audacity to not only steal through inflation, but lie about the inflation. They understate it. And then on the other side, they can tax it from you on your profits. So let's say you have a 10% inflation rate or 7%, doesn't matter what it is. If it's 10% and you make a 10% gain in the stock market, you sell your stock, you have to pay taxes on it. It's a 15% long-term capital gains tax. You just lost purchasing power. And that to me is like getting kicked in the nuts. I do not like that. I detest it. That is something that you don't do to people. It's just, basically you're a form of slavery to that, to the system. And I started buying precious metals because it's a way to feel like you're regaining freedom, freedom from the owner of the currency, to stop being a slave to it. And ever since then, I've always had a large stake in precious metals. So then I did a lot of research, into how to swap metals, ratio investing, all that stuff that you guys see on the channel. And obviously, if you guys see that, click subscribe. But if you detest that, if you have that inside of you where you just said, I don't like being stolen from, that I think will keep your eyes focused on the accumulation of physical precious metals. Then you just look at the stock market as a way to accumulate more precious metals, and use it as a vehicle of making gains quicker if you get good at it, and accumulating physical on the side. So that is why I hold so much precious metals. I hold roughly about 30% of my entire net worth. It's somewhere in there. And I know some people, they said like I should be buying more for this May Day, and I did accumulate a little bit, but I've accumulated so much, especially of silver, that I don't want to just start going all in. Don't go all in on one thing. And if I were to give advice, not advice in terms of buying anything, but like if you were to listen to me and what I've done in my past, is I should have been a little bit more diversified than what I was. And I probably would have made more money if I had kept some money in some stocks, some of my individual picks, like Chipotle, as large of a stake I had originally in it. Beidou as well, as big of a stake as I had in the beginning. I bought it at $100. Cost split adjusted was like 10. That was back in the mid 2000s, and just held on. So if I would have diversified and just kept it a little bit more diversified, probably would have made a little bit more money. But I've done very well. I've made a lot of right decisions. And in precious metals, they've done very well. And another thing to keep in mind, though, on a long-term basis, gold has outperformed and palladium's outperformed probably the best of any of the metals. I know rhodium, it's such a rare metal. Yeah, it went to the moon. But palladium and gold are the ones that you probably want to hold for the very long term if you want to hold any and not sell and rotate out. Silver is extremely volatile. It goes up and down, and it's a good transitory metal. Transitory metal being that you can own it, but you may want to move it back at some point to palladium or gold. Gold and palladium have seem to be the most stable upward trend metals of any of the metals. Platinum has its time in the sun, silver has its time in the sun, and eventually, depending on what the markets look like and the market deficits, I'll probably pick up a little bit more gold and get it back to more of a neutral portfolio. But that's just some information on what you guys, what I've seen over history, kind of what my plans are on the long term. And then I'll probably have more of a balanced portfolio when we hit more shortages in the future. So it'll be maybe like 20, 30% gold, 30, 40%, 30% silver, 30% platinum, and whatever's left of palladium or something like that. We'll see what the pricing does and what the ratios do against each other. But I just want to put this out there of why I hold physical precious metals and my hatred towards inflation. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know why you hold physical precious metals. Is it a get rich quick? Is it a protection against inflation? Let me know what you guys, why you hold physical metals. Put it in the comment section, please. Thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.